Where are fishery students? निकिता, प्रज्वल, अरे कुठे गेले सगळे? हं? हॅलो. अरे हर्षल. हर्षल.
येस सर.
अरे कुठे आहेस?
काय
बाकीचे कुठे आहेत?
केलेला कॉल सर, होतील जॉईन 2 मिनिटात.
काय प्रत्येक वेळेस तुमचं असं असते रे?
होतील सर जॉईन 2 मिनिटं, बघतो मी.
प्रतीक, प्रतीक, गेलं काय? ए प्रतीक, अरे काय चाललंय काय?
सर रोहितचा फोन आलेला.
हा?
रोहितचा फोन आलेला आत्ता त्यामुळे.
हं. येतोय जातोय येतोय जातोय. रोहित, आमंत्रण मिळालं का काय? चला सुरू करूया का? हॅलो, हर्षल,
येस सर.
सुरू करूया म्हटलं.
हा करू.
ओके. Can you see the screen? Hello?
Hello?
Can you see the screen?
येस सर.
Hello? ऐकू येते का रे?
हो सर येते.
तुमचा आवाज का मला ऐकू येत नाही. हॅलो,
हा सर येते ऐकू.
ओके. स्क्रीन दिसते का तुम्हाला?
हो दिसते.
काय लिहिलंय वाच बरं.
क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ मराइन हॅबिटेट सिनॉप्सिस.
Okay. Now we have already discussed with these points, but still we are going to study the horizontal stratification. We just going to have a revision rapidly, and then we'll proceed towards. So This is the horizontal classification. Entire water surface is called as a pelagic region, which is divided into two. Neritic region, this is the region up to the continental shelf. So this continental shelf remains underwater. It is a part of a continent underwater. Beyond this, all open water is called as oceanic region. Okay. See, or in other, see, this is the neritic zone, oceanic zone. Neritic zone is restricted up to continental shelf. Then is the open, or in the most systematic marine habitat is divided into pelagic and benthic. This is the pelagic आणि खोली. This is benthic. As you go deep, that's the pelagic region, neritic region, and oceanic region. Neritic region and oceanic region. Here in this diagram, this is the neritic region. This is the oceanic region. Okay. So neritic and oceanic region. Then comes vertical stratification based on the penetration of light. See, this is neritic, oceanic. Euphotic zone, dysphotic zone, and aphotic zone. Up to the depth of 200 meters, this is a very well illuminated layer. Maximum penetration of light occurs in this. Here it is moderate dysphotic and aphotic. So accordingly, euphotic, dysphotic, and aphotic zone are their vertical stratification on the basis of penetration of light. Now, what are the pelagic communities? What are the organisms which are present in the pelagic communities? They are in the form of planktons. Now, we have already discussed on this what are zooplanktons, what are these phytoplanktons, further on the basis of their size, how they are further classified, and so on. Macro, nano, and so on. Then we were discussing actually with this point pelagic adaptations. What are the adaptations that keeps these organisms floating in this region? So first is the shape of the organism. So all these are the planktonic forms. But even though they are planktonic forms, their size, their shape plays an important role to keep them floating. So the different types of shapes, body shapes are there. And these different types of shapes are needle-like, hair-like, ribbon-like, and these are the different examples. Spirulina is one of the algae which has a spiral shaped. Thalassarix is a needle-shaped. Rhabdosperia is spherical, and Discoporia is the disc-like. All of these are the planktons. Then thin shell. Presence of thin shell is also one of the adaptations. These shells, they reduce the weight and prevent from sinking. And the examples are the foraminiferans. These are the protozoans which are having unicellular protozoans which are having body enclosed in the shell. Then porous body. Now whatever shell is present, that shell appears to be happens to be very porous. Because of this, the porousness, water enters and the buoyancy is maintained. So all foraminiferans, they have the porous shells. And this was the point we were dealing with last time, that is uncalcified exoskeleton, which is weakly calcified. If it is heavily calcified, then the animal will sink at the bottom. So the uncalcified exoskeleton is there, and some pelagic lamellibranchs, that is Planktomya, cephalopods, loligo, Well, this is one of the mollusk have the uncalcified shell called as shell pen. So these are the points which we have already discussed. Now let's proceed further. Water storage is then adaptation. Now plankton stores large amount of water in their tissue to reduce specific gravity. Say for example, this jellyfish, which is a member of the coelentrates, they are having 90% of water which is stored, and because of this, the buoyancy is maintained and animal can float easily. Such as likewise salpa, doliolum, and this pyrosoma, the body is watery and transparent, and thus it makes them to float on the surface. Storage of fats and oil drops. Now, you know that oil or fat is having a tendency to float on the water. So, to reduce the specific gravity, crustaceans like cladocerans and copepods, codfish, they store fat in liver. So because of this, the buoyancy is maintained. Now this cytoplasmic eggs, the zooplanktonic eggs have oil drops. Radiolarians store oil drops in the protoplasm. So because of this, the tendency of floating into the water is accelerated. Pneumatophores. These are specialized zooids filled with air for floating. For example, in case of coelentrates, especially the Phycella and Varela, these are the Phycella. You might have already sketched the diagram while studying the phylum Coelentrata. Portuguese man of war, what it is commonly called as Phycelia. And this Phycelia is having pneumatophore. The shape is like the cap of the Portuguese man of war, and in this shape, the air is trapped, and this air facilitates the organism or Phycelia to float in the water. Now the air bladders are there. It is a gas-filled sac arising on the dorsal outgrowth from the gut in fishes. Now you might have studied different types of swim bladder as one of the topic last year. Physostomus and Clistostomus air bladders are there, and this because of this air bladder, by reducing and increasing the amount of the gas present inside this air bladder, the fish can change the specific gravity and thus can come to the surface and move to the depth, and thus they can float as well. Elongated appendages. Now these elongated appendages or branched appendages, they prevent sinking. Say for example, copepods, megalopa, phylosoma. These are the forms of crustacean larvae, polychaetes larvae. So these are the creatures, animals, planktons, especially zooplanktons, which have long appendages, and with the help of these long appendages, they can easily float on the surface of the water. Active swimming. Foot in pteropods are modified into wing-like structures that are used as oars. OARS, oars. The word oars means ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये वल्लभ म्हणतो. जसं नाव, बोट छोटी वल्लवण्यासाठी लाकडी वल्लभ असतात, तसे हे the foot in these pteropods, they act like a wing and used as a oars to swim rapidly. Trochophore is the larva of Balanoglossus and Echinoderm larvae. Echinoderm larvae, especially the Bipinnaria larva and Trochophore larva, These larvae, they are ciliated and these cilia are used for swimming. So presence of cilia on the body is one of the adaptations by these pelagic larval forms. Jet population. Jet population. चिळकांडी मारायची आणि पुढे जायचं. The animal takes the water and ejects it with force. That helps them to propel forward and backward as well. Now this cephalopods, loligo, and siphonophores called nectocalyx. These are the animals which they take the water inside the body and they forcefully they release this water, thus propelling the body in the forward direction. Certain special process are there. Now these planktonic organisms, they develop special outgrowths of the body to prevent sinking, such as horns in Cryptanium, feathericity in copepods, fleshy arms of the echinoderm larvae. So these processes actually help them to remain at the surface of the water body. Diurnal migration. Now, some planktons. Now, what all these adaptations are the pelagic adaptations. We are talking about the pelagic adaptations. Pelagic means the adaptations or changes made by the organisms within their morphological structures within their body to keep the body floating on the surface of the body. Now, diurnal migration is one of the adaptations that's in some planktons forms migrate to surface water at night and to deeper water during at the break of the day. So this it is the adaptation to avoid the scorching heat of the sun. So as soon as the day breaks, as soon as the sun is on the top, these organisms they go deeper and deeper in the water body. So and during night they come to the surface. So in this way, and the examples here are amphipods, copepods, ostracopods, all are these are the examples of the zooplanktons. So pelagic region has these two creatures. One form is that which we have come across. It is in the form of planktons, and another forms they are in the form of nectons. Planktons and nectons, all of them are floating, all of them are found in the pelagic region. But the difference between the planktons and these nectons is that these nectons, they are free swimming marine animals, while as the planktons, even though they are having the locomotive organs, they cannot withstand the currents of the water and they are drifted along with the waves, along with the water currents. But these nectons are the organisms, they have a capacity to swim against the water currents. So free swimming marine animals which are independent of water movements, even though water currents are there, they have ability to move, to cross, to move against the water current. They are consumers, such as cephalopods, sepia, loligo, aquatic reptiles, bony fish, sharks, sea turtle, dolphins, whales, seabirds. All they forms they fall in this category. But you can say they are present at the pelagic region. Of course, no doubt, whale is an exception, even though the whale is found at the in the deep sea waters, but it has to come to the surface of the water in order to inhale the atmospheric air. As soon as it inhales the atmospheric air, it again sinks, goes towards the more deeper and deeper. Now, these are the actually swimming organisms in the different zones of the seas. In addition to the planktons, nectons, some neustans and benthas. Nutrients, actually, these are the all these are the aquatic insects, so to say. They are having capacity to float, to remain on the surface of the body, of the water. And benthos are the organisms which are the bottom dwellers. They are also present in some portion of the pelagic region. Now see, whatever the pelagic region, surface region, which we have mentioned. Now let me explain here. So if this is the pelagic region, but of this pelagic region, this is the neritic region, where the continental shelf is there. So this is neritic region also forms the part of the pelagic region. But here is the bottom. But some of the organisms you will find benthos, means they are bottom dwelling. Some of the organisms are also found here. It doesn't mean that these organisms are not present here at the depth. See, benthos means organisms which are dwelling towards the bottom. But here, as far as the pelagic region is concerned, this is the bottom. This is the bottom, and this the animals dwelling here also, they are also called as benthos as well, or the animals present in this bathyal, other in handle, all these are also called as benthos. Okay. Now, they are bottom dwellers, inhabits the bottom of the sea. Now these animals are sessile, so because they are attached to the substratum, forms chitons, mussels, oysters, sponges, corals, crabs, sea anemone, lobsters, flatfish. All these are they form. They form the fauna of the benthic region, may be restricted to the continental shelf, or which forms the bottom in the neritic zone, or it may found, especially the coral, different types of corals, they are found at the great depth of the sea. So this is some of the part, that is the pelagic region. Now we are going to move towards sea. How classification is done. Now, one of the part which we have discussed on, that is the pelagic region in the neritic form and the oceanic form. Now, next part of the classification of the marine habitat is in the form of benthic region, pelagic region and benthic region. Now here, this is the pelagic region. Now we move down, as far as the depth is concerned, this is the benthic region. This is actually depth water, the benthic, it is referred as the benthic region. Now it is further classified into two, the littoral zone and deep sea zone. See, this is the littoral zone and sublittoral zone, and this is the deep sea zone. This is deep sea. This is horizontal stratification as such. Now how this further classification, that is there is another presentation for this. Now let me stop the previous presentation and we'll move towards the another presentation. Yes, can you see this slide? Hello? 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 ऐकू येते ना?
हो हो येते.
स्लाइड दिसते का तुम्हाला?
दिसते.
काय लिहिले वाच?
Classification of marine habitat, synopsis, introduction, horizontal stratification.
आणि बेंथिक झोन.
Benthic zone.
पिलॅजिक मगाशी मी सांगितलं, पिलॅजिक झोन आता आपण We are going to see the benthic zone. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that benthic zone is divided into littoral zone and deep sea system. Littoral zone. A shallow water close to sea is the littoral zone. ओके, म्हणजे जमिनीलगतचा जो भाग आहे समुद्राचा तो सगळा लिटरल झोन. म्हणजे कुठपर्यंत? इट इज लाइटेड पोर्शन ऑफ ओशनिक फ्लोर. लाईट जिथं पेनिट्रेशन होते तिथपर्यंत. इट एक्सटेंड्स अप टू द 200 मीटर्स, म्हणजे युफोटिक झोन, पूर्ण युफोटिक झोन, अँड कव्हर्स द विड्थ ऑफ 16 to 240 किलोमीटर्स फ्रॉम द शोर. आतमध्ये म्हणजे जवळजवळ 250 किलोमीटर आतमध्ये किनारपट्टीपासून. आणि खोली किती आहे तर 200 मीटर्स, म्हणजे कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ पर्यंत 200 मीटर्स, की जिथं लाईट पेनिट्रेशन पूर्ण आहे. एंटायर कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ फॉर्म्स द लिटरल झोन. The continental shelf is a platform-like area which gradually slope into sea from the shore. मगाशी तुम्हाला त्या फिगर मध्ये मी दाखवलं कॉन्टिनेंटल. आता लिटरल झोन इज, जस्ट अ मिनिट, आता बघा मगाशी मी म्हणलं लिटरल झोन, सब लिटरल झोन, यू लिटरल किंवा त्याला दुसरं नाव आहे इंटरटायडल झोन, म्हणजे पाईत आहे ना. हा इंटरटायडल म्हणजे हाय टाइड लो टाइड या मधला हा जो भाग आहे लिटरल और इंटरटायडल झोन. आणि लो टाइड पासून बघा हाय टाइड आणि लो टाइड पासून ते कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ पर्यंत हा जो भूभाग आहे, भूखंडाचा भाग पाण्याखालचा आहे, त्याला कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ, त्याला म्हणतात कॉन्टिनेंटल स्लोप, की जो इथं डीप सी सिस्टीमचा भाग असतो. बघा आता यू लिटरल और इंटरटायडल झोन. It is adjoining to the shore. It is the intertidal area between low tide and high tide. भरतीचं पाणी जिथपर्यंत जाते आणि ओहोटी कुठपर्यंत पाणी खाली येते, हा जो मधला टप्पा आहे, दॅट इज it is characterized by coming and going of the tides. This area is more suitable for marine vegetation because this is highly illuminated area, highly lighted area, light penetration is more. So whatever aquatic vegetation is there, this aquatic vegetation, marine vegetation is in abundance, as well as the fauna is also very rich in this region. But it provides 3 important habitats for the organisms. And what are these habitats? This again depends on the topography of the land, whether it is surface, this shoreline is rocky, whether it is sandy, or whether it is muddy. So whenever if you visit the Sindhudurg fort, and if you go to the fort and if you observe that the backside of the fort entire, you will find the shore is rocky. Sandy shore, where sand is there, entire shore is dominated by the sand. But up in some areas you will find the muddy shores are also there. So accordingly, the fauna of these 3 different intertidal or ulittoral zone differs, and we are going to study this in the details while during the course of the time. We are having a separate topic for this. Then sublittoral zone, as I have mentioned, this is the sublittoral zone extending from the low tide to the continental shelf. It extends from the low tide mark to the edge of the continental, and it has a depth of 200 meters. This is the depth, 200 meters. Now, yes. Next part here, see. दोन भाग आहेत काय म्हटलेलं आपण इथं, littoral zone आणि deep sea zone. So here is the littoral zone. This is the littoral zone. आता डीप सी झोन म्हणजे इथून खाली सगळा हा डीप सी झोन सुरू झाला. what are the different regions of the deep sea zone or deep sea system? It refers to the floor of the sea beyond the littoral zone. It starts from the continental shelf where it slopes steeply and it divided into 3 regions. म्हणजे कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ पासून सुरू होतो, हा स्लोप आहे आणि हा सगळा खालचा. तसं बघितलं तर लिटरल झोन पासून म्हणजे हे सुद्धा डीप सीचाच भाग आहे. हा इथला जो भाग आहे इथं बॉटम आहे, म्हणजे इथं डीप बेंथॉस फाउना इथं सुद्धा सापडतो. परंतु खऱ्या अर्थानं खोल समुद्र या कॉन्टिनेंटल शेल्फ पासून सुरू होतो. ना व्हॉट आर द regions, 3 regions. Bathyal region or zone, it comprises of continental slope. It extends to the depth from 200 to 400 meters. हा टप्पा, हा region, Bathyal zone. Then is the abyssal zone, 4000 to 6. Abyssal region. आणि तिसरा हॅडल बिलो 6000 meters is the Hadal zone. So these are the 3 different zones of the deep sea system. Okay. Actually, time is up. We'll stop here and we'll proceed again. आणि जरा तुम्ही लवकर का रे जॉईन होत नाही? काय प्रॉब्लेम असतो का तुमचा? हॅलो, हॅलो, हॅलो,
हॅलो सर, झालं का तुमचं लेक्चर?
हो 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 मॅडम
चालेल.
थांबलाय?
हो थांबले मी, कारण 12:20 ला असते ना बरोबर.
हो हो, तुमचं करा चालू.
जॉईन होईपर्यंत जरा वेळ लागतो ना स्लाइड मध्ये.
हो हो, नाही मलाच मुलंच माझ्याला जॉईन उशिरा झाली जरा.
होय ना,
म्हटलं आता
काय
वेळ तर
मुलांना
थांबलं
काय
पाहिजे.
कळतच नाही. टायमिंगला यायला पाहिजे ना त्यांनी, आहे का नाही?
आलं.
5 मिनिटं अगोदर यायला पाहिजे.
हो ना. ठीक आहे मॅडम, मी लिहू होतो, तुम्हीच
हा
चालू.
चालेल चालेल, ओके. हॅलो, आवाज येतोय का? असा आवाज काय येते? हॅलो, 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 आहो, असा आवाज येतो बुंग 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 बुंग. काय कळत नाही. काय झाले काय माहिती. हॅलो, हॅलो, इथलं का? हॅलो, असा आवाज यायला पाहिजे. काय झालं? हॅलो, बंद करू का अगोदर सगळं लिव करू का? हॅलो, ऐकायला येते का रे? हॅलो, असं यायला पाहिजे तुला. काय झालं काय माहिती का त्यानं त्याच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये दिसले मी त्याच्यामध्ये. हॅलो, हॅलो, ऐकायला येते का सगळ्यांना? जमलं असेल. हॅलो, हॅलो,
आवाज येतोय मॅम पण तो घुमतोय
येतोय का
आवाज.
आवाज?
आवाज येतोय पण तो
हा.
डबल डबल येतोय ऐकायला.
होय. मग काय करायचं ना आता? बंद करू का? लीव करते आता परत. हॅलो बाकी जॉईन व्हायला सांगा. धनके पहिले तो काय झालं प्रॉब्लेम काय नाही. हॅलो ऐकायला येते का? हॅलो बाकी ज्यांना जॉईन व्हायला सांगा. हॅलो काय झालं काय माहिती आवाजच म्हणतो. डबल डबल झाली का माझ्याकडे. हॅलो
हॅलो मॅम डबल आवाज येतो.
हॅलो अगं ते डबल आवाज कसा येते ग असा हे करताना.
तुमचा
अगं
माईक बंद
त्या मी
करा.
बोलते का नाही त्यावेळेला असा घुमतोय आवाज त्या ह्याच्यामध्ये. इको येतो इको. हो काय बटन दाबायचं कुठलं दाबायचं. हो पण ते डबल डबल ऐकायला येते ग मुलांना. मायक्रोफोनच्या तिथं काय करायचं. चालेल जनकीबाई पण उचलून झाले. हॅलो मॅडम अहो ते डबल डबल ऐकायला येते आवाज माझा घुमतोय आवाज कशानं. हो लेक्चर चालू झालंय कारण सरांच्या लेक्चरलाच मी जॉईन झाले ना तिथं. मग ते डबल इको आवाज येते. होय आज किती वेळा करायचं. करून केलं होतं आता मी करते बघा परत. होय हा बघते मग. होय ना हा तेच की. चालेल बघते मग मी. हे असे प्रॉब्लेम असतात बघा. हॅलो स्टॉप रेकॉर्डिंग करावं जरा इकडे.